Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, we're back here out on the line again today, and just going around some snare spots. And I've always got a few pail sets kicking around whenever I'm out on the line. You all know, if you've watched the channel any amount, you know my love of the pail set. It's versatile. It takes all kinds of different animals. A little piece of beaver meat in the back of that pail, and we're talking about cats. We're talking about fisher. We're talking about the odd marten. They're just a great all-around set. Tons of raccoons, as long as there's not a bunch of snow on the ground and it's not too cold. You'll catch more raccoons in these than you can skin. But I've always wanted something that was a little bit smaller, because out on the line, you're always bumping into, you got squirrel tracks and you got weasel tracks and you got mink tracks all around what you normally do. And I always thought, man, what if I could get like a trap that was like a miniature version of my pail set that would be just as effective, but on smaller game? Because you'll get tracks in and out of these all the time and not catch weasels or squirrels or stuff like that. Dun, da, da. Introducing the miniature pail set. All right, thanks to the RBG 40, which is a 2.5 inch circular trap, which I'm going to get a little closer here, which is a 2.5 inch circular trap. Looks just like this. So it's a conibear that's real small. All right, so I'm going to tip this up just a bit. All right, so it's a conibear trap that's real small, and it's circular in shape. What I've done is I've taken that, combined it with a little bit of a creative idea with a piece of 4-inch pipe and a spike that goes down through as such. If I can, there you go, goes like this. And what I've created is a miniature pail set. Works awesome. Okay, so a couple of different things. I can show you this thing real quick while we're back here, and then I'm going to show you how to make that exact thing out of the pipe. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. And if you like the content that we're putting up, go ahead and hit that bell, and you'll get notified when we upload anything new to the channel, so that you can check out any of the new videos or the interesting things that we do that you might be interested in. So I just want to show you this real quick while we're back here, and then I'm going to take you into the shop, and I'm going to show you exactly how I made my miniature pail set. I've got a bunch of these on order, and I hopefully will be able to duplicate my process a fair bit. So there's the trap when it's set. There's the 4-inch PVC pipe. And there's what it looks like when it's set in there. Is that not perfect, or what? Right? So you've got basically a pail set, just like that, that you can nestle this. You can basically nestle this down anywhere, and you've got basically, you've got a runway, you've got a pail set for small animals, squirrels, mink, weasels, whatever. So the nail itself, okay, so I drilled a hole and I put a big nail down through the back of this, just like this. Okay, couple things. One, if you're putting it on the bare ground, then you can push that nail down into the earth, and it'll stop this from maybe rolling over. So if you do get a bigger animal that wants to paw around at the bait, or smells it and wants to roll the trap over, I don't want it to be out of commission. So put the spike down through, it stops the trap from rolling over. Also, you can take that nail and tap it, hammer it, and you can actually set this thing on like see that log right there that's blown down, that crossways right there? You could literally nail that down there, and you'd have it up on a runway type of thing, and it would still be just as effective, especially for squirrels, in that department. Also, the nail, it'll help to keep the bait in there. But anyway, listen, just going to take you now. I'm going to flip over to the shop and show you exactly how I build this miniature pail set. So we're just going to start. We're going to take a regular piece of 4-inch PVC pipe, just a regular piece of 4-inch PVC pipe, and we're going to measure 8 inches. And then we're going to cut it. Once it's cut, we're just going to clean up the little bit of edging that we have there. We don't want any of that little plastic bits in there for right now, but just a regular piece of 4-inch pipe, 8 inches long. So next we're going to cut the slots to hold our trap inside our little mini pail set here. And one of the big mistakes that people make when they do these is they cut a slot in the edge of this, So two different things. They either don't cut it deep enough or they cut it far too wide. So, you know, for a regular pail set that I do with the 220 Conibears, you know, I cut a nice wide slot here because I can bend up both sides. The problem is with these traps is these are great little traps, but they've only got one spring. So it's really important that when they're in there, they're nice and secure and they're solid. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to cut a wide slot in your pipe, because then there's no way to secure this trap in there. And that's a lot of frustration that a lot of people have with these. So what I like to do with these ones especially is I like to actually cut two small narrow slots, and I cut them about 1 inch deep. So in order to do that, it's really simple. All I'll do is I'm gonna mark where these springs are. Now, unlike a 220 Conibear, these small ones, because they're circular, when you set them, the springs are actually offset a little bit. So if you can see this, you've got the springs that you've got almost like a top and a bottom, and they're really not, you know, straight together. So there is the distance between here and here that you need to mark. So I'll just set them real quick, and I just mark on them. Once you make one, you can duplicate a bunch off of it, so you don't have to do this every time, of course. But anyway, once you get these set without snapping your hand in them, there you go. And you just want to hold it up. They're really good. Like, they cover almost the entire. This 4-inch pipe and this trap go really, really well together. So all I want to do is I want to hold it where it goes, just like that, and I'm going to mark the bottom spring and the top spring. So I'm back. I just went over with the jigsaw and I cut out my two little slots, and this is what you get. Now, you can use whatever pipe you want. I like the thicker pipe personally because it means that that piece in the middle is not floppy at all. It's still good and solid. So what that allows me to do is it allows me to set that trap with one spring on the bottom, one spring on the top, and then that sits right in there and it's nice and secure. Next, what I'm gonna wanna do is I'm gonna take from this, I'm gonna keep this to the side, and I'm gonna measure up on the top. I'm gonna go up 45 degrees, and I'm gonna drill a hole in the back. I'm gonna drill straight down through, right down through the piece of pipe. So all I do for that is measure. I take my cap, whatever you're gonna use for a cap, and this cap is 2 inches. So I measure my 2 inches on the back, and then I come ahead another inch. Okay, so I'm at the 3-inch mark. All right, so I'm at the 3-inch mark on the pipe, and I keep this straight out to the side, and I roll it up to the top, and then I'm gonna drill a hole right down through there. So like that. Okay, so that's it. I just drilled my hole through the top. I used about a 1/2-inch drill bit because, as you can see, or as you saw maybe earlier in the video, I dropped that long nail, that long spike down through, and that pins this to the ground to stop it from rolling in the ground. Other than that, kiddos, you're pretty much set. Grab your cap, whatever you're gonna use for the base cap, snap her on. There you go. So you've just created your little mini pail, a little mini bucket that you're gonna use, and now it is as simple as setting your trap, just like that. And the benefit of your two slots, all right, so you can see this now, is that this slides in. I'll see if I can show you. So you got your two slots with the little piece in the middle. And when you put your trap in here, you slide one in the bottom and one in the top. And that sets in there just as solid as can be. So you just set that in there like that, and you're all set, right? So you got it pretty much completely covered. You can bend this a little bit, and it might hold it like a little bit from doing, like, you know, tipping, but for all intent and purposes, by having those two slots right there, instead of just one wide slot, that's in there and it's solid. Just one more quick thing before I go. The nail in the top will help you too, depending on how you bait these. If you get a lot of critters in your area, maybe like you catch a squirrel or whatever, and then you're always coming back and your little pail's empty, go ahead and stick the nail right down through the bait. So lots of times, especially if I'm trapping weasel, I'll take a bloody piece of something, liver or whatever, put it in there, and I'll drive the nail right down through it, and that'll help to pin it inside the trap and keep it there. If you're using like chicken feathers or something like that, or a chunk of beaver meat, you can put it behind where the nail is and drop the nail down through. And if nothing else, it'll slow them down from, being able to just pull it back out straight through. So anyway, listen, hope this is something that helps you out. And again, this is my mini pail set, mini bucket set, using this round RBG trap. So until next time, happy hunting from the NB Wildman channel.